So to remove the rear bumper, you'll need to remove this 1, 2, 3, and I think another fourth one right here. In this way, so you'll need to remove it in this way. So okay, the final one is now out. So to remove this plug, like I showed you on the other side, you just need to pull back on it. What you can see from right here is that this car was rear-ended. VW never uses this bolt on bumpers. Look at this point right here, and this point right here, this point right here, and this point right here. Can you see the surprise already? Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Mercury, and on today's video we are going to be removing the rear bumper on this VW Jetta 5. So why would someone want to remove a rear bumper on their car? Because there's really nothing that's got to do with the bumper that affects the drivability of the car, but on mine it's a really wild case. So the reason why I want to remove this bumper is something that you'll find out later on the video. So I think we'll just need to get on with removing the rear bumper. So on removing the rear bumper, I don't really think I need to jack up the car, but if I really need to jack up the car, I'll then do so, because I already have my tools ready to jack up the car if I need to. Yeah, my jack stands just in case I need to jack up the car. So to remove the rear bumper, you'll see a few screws right here. So to remove the rear bumper, you'll need to remove this 1, 2, 3, and I think another fourth one right here. So there's about 4 screws that you'll need to remove on each side. So I'm just going to show you how to remove on this side, and I'm also going to show you how to remove on the other side. So these screws right here are T25 screws, so you'll need to remove these T25 screws. I think there are a total of 4 along this line. The third one is just right here. I'm not able to show you very nicely, but this is where the third one is. Third one is off. So there's one which is connecting the body of the car and the bumper, so it's just in this way, so you'll need to remove it in this way. So this is how you need to orientate the tool when you need to remove this one. So on this screw, which is located right here, there's a change in size. This is not a T25 but a T20. So I just managed to get it loose, so I'm thinking I can try to get it out by hand. So okay, the final one is now out. Here's the final one, which is holding the bumper against the car. Now what we need to do is to get onto the other side and remove the rest of the screws. You need to open this carpet. So the carpet is now off. Now we need to remove this plug. So to remove this plug, like I showed you on the other side, you just need to pull back on it all the way. So for me, pulling it out with my hand is difficult, so that's why I'm using the test light probe to just pull it out. Oh, this side is a bit difficult to see because the light is just coming all the way in here. So I'm really sorry about that, because you can't really see. The light is bad. It's just the sun, it's not me. There is the sun which is facing on this side, I don't know why. So what you need to do is just pull back this blue tab. After pulling back this blue tab, the plug will then come out. There we go. Then after removing that blue tab, what we need to do now is to make sure that we remove those 10mm bolts. There's one that I dropped on the other side, so here I really need to be careful. I really need to be that careful. So when you're taking this one off, just make sure that you hold the light from the outside so that the light does not fall off. So we took out the 2 screws, so what you need to do right now is just to be careful when taking out the light. So my kind of light is the one which has the LEDs inside, it's not the one which has the bulbs. So this is out. So the dirt on this side is too much. So what you can see from right here is that this car was rear-ended. This is not from factory. This shows that the car was rear-ended, but I'm glad to see that the car still has all the screws, but you can see that this side was rear-ended. So what we need to do as well in here, we need to remove that other bolt. If you can see here, there's a bolt right here. It's really difficult to show you that bolt because it's in a tight place, but it's supposed to be somewhere around here. Because you've seen me take it out on the other side, I don't think I'm going to show you on this side because it's also difficult for me to take it out, so there's not enough space. I'm just going to try and take it out, but I'm glad that I showed you on the other side because you also know what to do on this side as well. So yeah, so like I said, this car was rear-ended. So one thing to show again, other than that poor job, was this bolt, because you can see that this bolt is not supposed supposed to be here. Look at this bolt. VW never uses this bolt on bumpers. They use T30s or T25s, so they don't use this kind of bolt. So this can show you that the car was rear-ended, but I knew that already when I bought the car, so I was happy with it, buying it knowingly. What I was not happy for, it's something that came as a surprise to me, and I'll show you on this video. So the next thing to do is just to remove this. As you can see, before I did anything, look at this. You can see that this is not put in well, so you can tell that the car had a rear end. So let's just go on. Now let's get the ones which are for this side. Also, if you can look at this point right here, look at this point right here and this point right here. Let's compare it with this point right here and this point right here. You can tell that on that side something definitely happened. Look at this point right here and look at this point right here. So you can tell something happened. At least I knew. So when you're buying a car, just make sure that you check everything nicely. So this was also one of my negotiating points, because I saw that the car had a rear end, but the car was very in good condition, so that you can get some better pricing. Because if you don't see this and you don't get to have some negotiating power, that means you're just going to get ripped off. Because when you find out that the car would have been rear-ended, that means your money would have been saved, but because you couldn't be able to see that, they got to rip you off. So yeah, so hopefully now there shouldn't be much that's holding the bumper in place. There's just a few bits and pieces on the underside of the car which we need to check out. So we still have this screw, 1, 2, 3 on there, and I think we'll be good to go when we remove these ones. So let me just take this out. So we have this one right here. I think this is a T30. Okay, this is off. There's another one right here. So it seems like we have 3 screws which are hidden underneath here. So you need to remove all those screws. Okay. Now all these 3 screws are off. So all we need to do is just to try and take off the bumper. And it comes off just like that. Can you see the surprise already? The reason why I told you that I need to remove the rear bumper is that I found out that this car does not have a rear crash bar at all. How surprising is that? So yeah, this is why I wanted to take off the rear bumper, because this car has no crash bar at all. And I only found this out last week. So I've been driving around with a car that has no crash bar on it. Very crazy. Very crazy. So I'm really disappointed in finding this out, but I'm really happy for the solution that I have. So yep, so this is how to take off the rear bumper of the Jetta 5. So now we're gonna be putting it on back again. But before I do that, I need to fit in a tow bar. So if you want to see how to fit in a tow bar, please click on the next video that's coming next week. So that's it for this video. What I'm going to be doing is just to put the bumper back on. So for today's video, that's it, guys.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake